I've been told by somebody who knows that paintings should always tell a story. Well, here's mine. This is the story of the Jack Pine Garage and Friendly Service Station. However, before we do that, we need to build the building. Now, my reference photo shows a modern building with old stuff in it, and I needed a concrete block building with old stuff in it. So I made some changes. I added a window, some doors, a soda pop machine, some oil racks, wire rims, and the old style gas pump. Now we need to see how everything fits. The technical term, I believe, is called blocking in. We are in a forest here, so the tree placement and how many there's going to be is important. I need to show the size of the building, and I need to keep the eye in frame. The red bricks that you see, or that red stuff on the bottom, is actually going to be a red brick driveway once the perspective is changed. This is a recovered canvas, so that sky's already been in. I'll see how much of that I want to keep. And then, all in all, though, looks like everything's going to fit okay. I'm using a fairly dried up bottle of gesso. That's giving me a lot of texture. I'm going to use a darker color here and rub it in with a wet cloth. This will be the first of several coats. I can control the brightness, and I can control how the stucco would be looking on these old buildings. I know that because I live in one. In the mid-third of the 20th century, a vacation trip was to be endured traveling along county or state highways of widely varying construct and maintenance schedules. Bouncing along in a car equipped with natural air conditioning, usually following a slow-moving truck or farm vehicle for millions of miles, while listening to hog futures on your dash-mounted, static-filled AM radio that was mostly drowned out by squabbling siblings in the back seat. Along the way, gasoline stations, roadside motor inns, and other odd attractions just off the main highway supported the small towns. Well, we're coming along pretty well here. Not too crazy about what's behind the gas pump. The desk in the background doesn't look right to me. The soda machine, of course, isn't has just been roughed in, as has the gas pump itself. We're going to leave the trees alone for now and concentrate on the building. The sidewall there is pretty well done, but it does need some touch up as well. Looks like the pipes are running too deep. Not crazy at all about the garage. It looks like there's too much clutter, even though there was everything you're seeing there was in the photograph. I don't, you lose the car. So I think we're going to have to do something about that. Otherwise, looking real good. We'll continue. And now back to our story. The roadside gas stations offered some degree of repair, enough usually to get you back on the road with the proper amounts of air, oil and water in the proper places, along with a clean windshield. Soda pop, ice, snacks, candy, and local gossip were plentiful. The Jack Pine Garage and Friendly Service Station assigned their youngest son to wash your buggy windows, headlights, and grill, while an older sibling will fill your front bumper-mounted water bag and check your tire pressures. The eldest will open your hood to make sure that the radiator wasn't about to explode and that the engine had not deposited an unhealthy amount of oil on the gravel road leading into town. True, spilled oil does reduce dust, but that's Henry's job, and it's impolite to horn in on his source of income. Well, the quick measurement there looks like my garage door is too tall, but it really doesn't matter because I'm going to get rid of that, what's inside on top. This is, I believe that was Payne's Gray straight out of the tube, and we'll start the garage door with this base and do some detail in just a minute. And I'm coming in here with white with just a touch of yellow. I bet you wish your garage was this easy to clean. Now we're going to leaving this up, and I come in back here with more of a yellowish tint. These doors really wouldn't be white. They would be some color that would go with the scheme that they have running. We're going to add the panels here, and I'm showing a big gap because I want this door to look like it's broken. The lines aren't going to be quite straight, and it's just going to be off a little bit. And now we have a cleaned up garage. All the while, the owner of Jack Pine's Garage and Friendly Service Station considered it his civic duty to inform you of all the local dinosaurs, two-headed snakes, and the world's largest pheasant, located at the end of the town's grass runway. All attractions not to be missed. Then lunch at Mabel's Fine Restaurant, right next to the fire station. You can't miss it. But if you do, be sure and stop at Colleen's Collectible Gifts. You'll see it on your left as you turn around. The Jack Pine Garage was not officially named after the family, a shocking departure from the norm. Rather, the concrete block building occupies land that is greatly favored by the straight and tall Jack Pine trees, many of which gossip over the goings-on at the Jack Pine Garage, the actual name of which is too big to paint on the building. Now Jack, probably not his real name, knew quite a few things about cars and mechanical inventions. Since Jack figured everybody knew where the Jack Pine Garage and Friendly Service Station could be found, Highway 15, half mile or so from town on the right, just before the intersection of State Highway 281. Thus, paid advertising was not required in any form, including the sign on the building. Consequently, it was his hand that painted the building sign, proving that Jack was not as handy with a paintbrush as he were with a wrench. Time does not stop long in such places, and before you knew it, the interstate came through. Somebody invented shopping malls, and corporations built shiny new gas stations where you could get most anything and not be bothered to go out of your way. Of course, at a price far higher than your tires were inflated. It didn't help matters that the new interstate turnoff to State Highway 281 was the one with the fancy gas stations, removed much of Jack's income possibilities. You could drive fast on the interstate without much fear of finding a raccoon stuck under your transmission or a deer in your windshield. However, the larger potholes on the washboard county roads had provided a self-regulating speed control and a major source of income to the Jack Pine Garage and Friendly Service Station. The new road, asphalt of course, used a more modern method of speed control consisting of a white car with two big red cherries on the roof and large emblems on both front doors. The car's inhabitants of which were happy to invite you to reduce the local citizens' tax burden. It got so that the excuse of using the new road being so smooth, as it was, the automobile operator could not accurately judge his speed. Such a complaint would induce great amusement for the occupants of the car with the cherries, and an expensive piece of paper, along with the invitation to visit the county judge next week, when you have the time, naturally. Otto dropped by some time ago now, said his old Huston was overheating again. That's what they're supposed to do, replied Jack, thinking about the stack of dusty suspension parts stored along the back wall of the garage and the check for which that should have been mailed yesterday. Jack flushed the radiator, patched the offending pinhole leak, and replaced the questionable radiator cap with a shiny new one guaranteed to last a good long while. Otto decided he didn't like the car much anyway, and expressed the same interest in settling the bill, leaving Jack apprehensive about fixing the garage door, broken by errant children during the Hudson's repair. As business fell off, the family drifted from their homestead, leaving Otto's old car in the garage. If you're interested, Otto's car is still there, with a repaired radiator, and it runs pretty good, I'm told. Be warned, though, the new owners are well aware of its worth, so don't hold your breath. The disclaimer. All characters, locations, and subjects are fictitious. Any relation to reality is unintentional. In case you're wondering, jack pine refers to a type of pine tree.